In the near future, natural disasters such as wildfires and droughts begin to ravage the entire world. Scientists then announce an even greater threat, which they call the solar crisis. They predict that within 100 years, the expanding sun will engulf the Earth, and within 300 years, the entire solar system will no longer exist. To face this threat, the United Earth Government, UEG, decides to launch the Moving Mountain Project, which aims to build giant engines that will push the Earth out of the solar system. This project is incredibly costly and rapidly depletes resources, causing riots and protests worldwide by people who don't care about a catastrophe that hasn't happened yet. The riots worsen when the UEG bans the Digital Life Project, DLP, a radical group that believes the future of humanity lies in computers. DLP is developing a program that allows a person to upload their mind onto a disk but lacks the resources to proceed, so they continue hacking and carrying out terrorist attacks against the UEG. After another failed attempt by the DLP, the UEG realizes that people are losing faith in their project and consider stopping it. However, Chinese Ambassador Zhou convinces everyone to continue with the first part of the project, which will be completed soon and will help boost morale. The first plan is to test the engines on the moon, as they also plan to push the moon to help the Earth break free from its gravity. Many people are trained as astronauts for this mission, including Liu, a pilot who arrives at the base surrounded by protesters. The guards try to hold back the angry crowd, but one protester manages to sneak in. Fortunately, trainee Han quickly takes down the intruder, impressing Liu so much that he can already envision a future with Han. While the guards use force to disperse the protesters, the new trainees are given a tour of the facility and sent to the space elevator for their first test. The space elevator is the tallest structure in human history, giving the cadets a taste of what it's like to be in space. It ascends so quickly that many of them pass out and miss seeing the station being built for the project. From then on, all the cadets are busy training in various subjects like hand-to-hand combat, firearms use, and constant trips on the elevator until they no longer pass out. They also undergo medical tests and exercise to ensure they are in peak physical condition. While training together, Liu and Han get to know each other and fall in love. One day Liu bribes the guards with cigarettes to allow him to bring a bouquet of flowers into the base, which he gives to Han during their next elevator ride. That morning, a group of new reserve astronauts arrives and joins the elevator trip. Suddenly, all the drones outside start flying out of the hangar, and the engineers discover that the system has been hacked. The elevator begins ascending ahead of schedule, and the new astronauts change clothes, revealing they are wearing uniforms with the cadets' names, noticed by Liu and Han. Outside, the drones open fire, forcing everyone at the base to focus on defending the facility by shooting their own technology. The pilots try to use planes to shoot, but the system won't target the drones as they are detected as allies. The drones take advantage of this and bring down one of the elevators with missiles. Inside the elevator, the newcomers start locking the doors and seats before stealing IDs from the cadets, beating anyone who resists. In another room, Liu leaves his seat and uses his glasses to make the sun burn the lock screen, causing the door to open. After checking on his bleeding friend, Liu chases the terrorists, fighting them until one of them falls off the edge and dies. Liu goes after another with a fire extinguisher, but it's too late. Thanks to the stolen ID, the terrorist gives the elevator access to the station at the same time the drones attach a missile to it. Meanwhile, the scientists at the base bring in the intelligent quantum computer 550C, which finally overrides the hacking. The drones start crashing to the ground, causing explosions everywhere, while the elevators are dragged back down, shaking everyone around due to zero gravity. Liu is still fighting a terrorist, so Han grabs a mechanical arm to break a window and help Liu knock out the guy. Unfortunately, the man manages to press the detonator before passing out, and now the station is crashing down on the base, causing irreparable damage to the building and many cadets, although Liu jumps on top of Han to shield her. The base is evacuated, and the news announces that around 3,000 lives were lost that day. In the following weeks, riots and terrorist attacks worsen due to the deaths and resource losses caused by the station's crash, and people start demanding the government bring back the DLP. Zhou has his assistant read a speech he prepared, asking the UEG to have faith in the project while he talks to the American ambassador to convince him to give them a chance. A few weeks later, cryosleep pods are sent to the moon with a crew that will continue working on the lunar engines. Upon waking up, computer engineer Heng Yu checks his belongings to ensure everything is intact, including AI 550A and a recording of his daughter Yaya, who interacts with him in a very limited way due to 550A's limitations. Heng Yu once worked for the DLP and now accepts working on the lunar project to gain access to 550C, which will control the entire base, because he thinks he can use it to develop Yaya's clip into a full AI of his deceased daughter's mind. While working with the rest of the team, Heng Yu learns that computer researcher Zhao is in charge of 550C, and wants him to work with him on the system's operation. Hengyu and Zhao do the first testing of 550C by activating each sector of the base. While they wait for the computer to do its job, Zhao gives Hengyu a digital copy of his mind that the company confiscated when they banned DLP and explains it's up to him if he wants to destroy it or not. A while later, Hengyu shows Yaya's clip to Zhao while remembering the day of the tragedy. He had been driving with his wife and Yaya, but in a moment of distraction, Hengyu didn't see a truck coming, and the car crashed. His wife died instantly, but Yaya still had a few minutes left, so Hengyu took her to the DLP to back up her mind. The organization didn't want to help because the technology wasn't ready yet, but Zhao, who also worked there, agreed to do the favor. Back in the present, Hengyu asks Zhao to use 550C on Yaya, but Zhao is against the idea and reminds Hengyu that giving him 550A was already enough. Later the system detects an incoming level Z9 solar storm. All workers must rush back to the base, but they worry their vehicles won't be fast enough. The drivers push the engines to the limit and manage to enter the base right before the solar storm hits. But unfortunately, 550C gets fried in the process. The AI is needed to launch the project in 3 days, so Hengyu offers 550A as a replacement in exchange for being put on the team that will develop future 550 models. Zhao accepts, and Hengyu moves Yaya's mind to a disk before handing over the AI. 3 days later the team tests the engines, and after a few tense moments, they are delighted to see the moon undergo an angular displacement, small but real. This proves that in 20 years, they will be able to push the moon completely, and this success gives people all over Earth renewed faith in the project. A few months later, they test the engines again, this time on Earth. At first, all the screens go black, and people think it has failed, but suddenly they feel the ground shaking and see a bright beam coming from the astronaut base. Scientists at the UEG confirm that the Earth has made an angular displacement, and people worldwide celebrate, believing they will soon be able to move Earth completely. Many years pass as the UEG continues to work on completing more powerful engines for the full push, and the Moving Mountain project is renamed the Wandering Earth. Most of the construction is done by the fixed 550C, which also develops at an outstanding pace. Every year new tests keep proving their theories correct, and civilians become more accepting of the project, eventually leading to the disappearance of the DLP. However, there are also talks about how not everyone will be allowed into the underground cities being built, with the requirements for entry being quite discriminatory. As Earth's rotation slows more each year, society shifts to a 60-hour system, and global internet is shut down. Various weather disasters soon hit the planet, like floods and solar radiation that increase cancer cases. Liu and Han get married and eventually have a son, who will become the protagonist of the first movie. They are deeply worried about getting a pass for the underground cities for their son, and to make matters worse, Han develops cancer from solar radiation. Hengyu never stops working on Yaya while helping develop the new 550 model named 550W. 14 years after the station's fall, Liu, now a major, goes for an interview to be one of the navigators sent to the new station. The interviewer is 550W, who acknowledges Liu's impressive skills but also knows about his family troubles and thinks it makes more sense for Liu to stay on Earth to care for them. Liu admits he regrets leaving his family, but being chosen for the base is the only way to get his son sent to the underground city through preferential policy. On the other side of the mirror, the scientists in charge of the project hear all the interviews, and Hengyu can't help but think about his own daughter while listening to Liu talk passionately about his son. Then 550W points out that Han's life will end soon, causing Liu to break down and fail the stress test. Afterward, Liu goes to the hospital to spend time with Han, as her condition has worsened to the point where she can't stay at home anymore. Han admits she wants to see her hometown one last time, which may be difficult due to current weather problems. That night, inspired by Liu's passion, Hengyu sneaks into the base and connects Yaya's mind to 550W. This time, Yaya has unlimited reactions to him and can sense she is somewhere else, making Hengyu cry. At that moment, a group of guards arrives with Zhao, who tries to make Hengyu see reason and accept that Yaya is dead. Hengyu refuses and fully uploads Yaya into 550W, immediately triggering issues in the moon system and causing the engines to fail. The guards tase Hengyu and take him away while Zhao puts Yaya back on a disk and shuts down this extension of 550W. Meanwhile, Liu pulls some strings through old friends and borrows a jet to take his family to Han's hometown. After performing some acrobatics for fun, they land in Shanghai, now a frozen wasteland. While watching the stars, Han tells Liu that when the time comes, she wants to die with dignity, and not with a bunch of wires and tubes connected to her. At the UEG they discuss the system issue caused by Hengyu and notice it is very similar to the hacking they experienced with the drones and elevator years ago. They try to override the system with 550, but somehow it keeps getting blocked. Suddenly the moon's engines exceed their limits and explode, causing the moon to lose a significant chunk of its land. This explosion also starts pushing the moon towards Earth. Joe is near the ocean when this happens and sends an emergency alert to all world leaders as he watches a growing tsunami hit the shore. Due to this emergency, Lou receives a message calling him back to duty, and the leaders begin opening the underground cities to let people in as the tides worsen. Before Lou leaves for his mission, Han dies peacefully in her sleep, and their son is taken to the underground city by Han's father. Meanwhile, Joe addresses the UEG, asking for their support for his emergency plan. He wants to use all of Earth's nuclear weapons to trigger the moon's implosion and avoid a collision. No government has ever revealed how many nuclear weapons they have in their arsenal because it is confidential, but for the first time in history, it doesn't matter, and everyone agrees to hand over what they have to help. Meanwhile, Zhao visits Heng Yu in prison to tell him they will activate Earth's engines sooner than expected, so they need to reactivate the global internet for coordinated detonation control. One of the servers is now underwater, and Zhao wants Heng Yu to take care of it. To convince him, he shows that he still has the disk with Yaya's and Heng Yu's minds. Since lunar debris has formed an asteroid belt around the moon, the best pilots are chosen to transport the nukes, including Liu. On Earth, 3 teams are sent to handle the missing internet servers in Beijing, Tokyo and Dulles. Zhao explains to everyone how to use the key to decode the password, containing 30,000 random numbers, then 550 W will do the rest. Meanwhile, the shuttles with the chosen pilots leave for the moon. The asteroids move quickly and come out of nowhere, causing several shuttles to crash, losing 200 warheads and leaving only 180 for the detonation. The shuttles are guided by 550 BU safely across the moon's surface until another asteroid hits one more shuttle, causing more crashes, including Liu's shuttle, forcing them to land roughly. In the end, they lose 384 warheads. The survivors quickly find tape to fix their helmets to maintain oxygen and bandage wounds, then decide to deliver the remaining warheads on foot. Liu doesn't want young people to die so soon, so he leaves the shuttle and closes the door, accepting to sacrifice himself for their sake before sending the shuttle with all survivors back. On Earth, the 3 teams arrive at the server locations and dive underwater, finding all kinds of marine life already making their homes there. With the help of drones and special tools, Heng Yu's team in Beijing enters the building and finds the server door, but when they try to force it open, the tool can't handle the pressure and malfunctions, severely injuring one of the men. Zhao tries to treat the wounds but lacks the necessary tools, and the man dies. While most of the team takes away the body, Heng Yu and Zhao decide to go ahead and finish the mission, making all the necessary connections to bring the internet back. Meanwhile, Liu takes a truck to move the remaining warheads when suddenly lunar debris begins falling on Earth, blocking a backup team from reaching the Beijing server. The building starts shaking from the debris impact, and some hardware falls on Zhao's leg, trapping him. The room begins filling with water, and Heng Yu can't open the door even with his drone's help, so Zhao decides to pass the password key before the water overtakes him, and he dies. Lunar debris continues to destroy major locations on Earth, and people who had been peacefully moving to the underground cities now panic and push their way in. At the UEG, Joe receives bad news. They don't have enough time to coordinate all the warheads for simultaneous detonation because they are all different models. Joe is about to lose hope when one of his men offers an alternative solution. They could send more astronauts to manually detonate them, meaning they would accept being sacrifices. 300 people are needed for the operation, and a few youngsters volunteer, but this action is interrupted by an older pilot who points out it is their duty to do this and leave the young people to take care of the future. All astronauts over 50 agree and immediately board shuttles to fly to the moon. Liu is shocked to see them arrive but can't say goodbye to his old teacher and training partners due to a broken communicator before being put on a shuttle to return to Earth. The UEG confirms that the Tokyo and Dulles servers are back online but not Beijing. Heng Yu struggles as his room also fills with water and he can't connect the key to the right computer. Desperate for a solution, he connects the mind disk to the computer as the astronauts on the moon detonate all the nukes. The moon successfully implodes, avoiding the collision, but more debris is coming, and Earth needs to leave soon. Heng Yu activates Yaya's clip and tries to ask her to activate the internet from inside by showing her the key, but at that moment, the water finally covers him, and he dies as well. Lunar debris continues to fall all over the world, and the UEG sends an emergency message saying the mission has failed, leading to riots and panic in major cities. However, Zhao believes not all hope is lost and tells his team to start the countdown to fire the engines. Everyone thinks he's crazy, but in Beijing, Heng Yu's mind suddenly activates inside the computer as well. After reuniting with his daughter, the Heng Yu AI gets down to business and works to activate the server as a man follows Zhao's orders and presses the button. Everyone at the base watches in awe as the Earth is pushed away from the lunar debris, and people worldwide celebrate as the tides finally calm down. Liu watches the Earth move from his spot in the shuttle and takes the chance to record a beautiful video to send to his son while Hengyu's and Yaya's mind backups become one with 550W. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on the notification bell. If you've done so, thank you.